Hey guys, it's Alice again, and today I'm filming my first video back in my uni room. I can't get used to the setup, it's a bit weird. Let me know what you guys think. It's very strange being back here filming, but I'm so excited for the year ahead. I hope you guys are excited too. And to kick off me being back at uni, naturally I decided to do a university Q&A. I get lots of questions from you guys about my uni in particular and just university life in general and just random bits of stuff that I know I would want to know when I was thinking about going to uni. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. I'm also daily vlogging my uni life, so I have a vlog channel. I'll leave the link up here in a little thing and in the description, so go and subscribe to that if you aren't already, and let's answer some questions. Emily asks, what is the best thing about uni in your opinion? Do you feel like it ever gets too hard? I love you. Love you too, Emily. And the best thing about uni is definitely the friendships that you make. And that also kind of ties in with the worst, because you have to go through kind of some bad ones before you find some good friendships. But honestly, I feel like because everyone is away from home and everyone needs their own little university family, I feel like the friendships here are so much stronger than they are when you're back at school. Because at uni you kind of get to pick and choose who you're friends with, whereas at school you kind of generally end up friends with the people who are in your class. So yeah, you have to make a lot more effort to stay in touch with the friends at uni, but that's definitely the best part. And does it get too hard? Yes, it definitely does. If you've been following my daily vlogs, you'll know that before Christmas I had loads of deadlines and I struggled, I'm not gonna lie. And I can actually make a video about that a little bit more if you want to hear more about it, but I have ended up on some medicine for it. I got really anxious and I got more migraines, and we realised that my migraines are actually triggered by anxiety, so I'm on anxiety medicine. And it wasn't all kind of down to university, but it definitely got really hard and it all got on top of me. So yes, it does get hard, but don't let that scare you off, because I got through it and it seems to be going well so far. So promise it gets better, and as long as you prepare yourself for it, I think you'll be alright. Hannah asks, did you get homesick at all? If so, how did you deal with it? Also, tips on how to talk to new people. Love you. I love you too. And homesick, I really do get homesick, and I'm actually kind of different to a lot of people who are at uni. And I, last year especially, went home every weekend because I had work commitments back home and I only live an hour away, so it's not too hard for me to get back, and I have a car, so I used to go home every week. And I know when I didn't go home every weekend, I felt so homesick. I'm just such a homey person, but I found that FaceTime and making sure I rang my mum or my dad or whoever every day just to keep them up to date on my life, that really helped. And I know because of my daily vlogs, they feel like they're still involved with my life too. So I think the new technologies of the world really help you out. FaceTime is a lifesaver, and Skype, obviously if you don't have an iPhone, but that really helped too. Tips on how to talk to new people. Well, I am not actually the best at this. I'm really awkward with stuff like that, but I feel like if you just simply comment about something they're wearing or give them a compliment, that's always a nice way to start a conversation, or ask them something about the work that you're doing. Like for example, the other day in my lesson we had a new girl there and she asked me something about the work, and she initiated the conversation first. It wasn't me, because I suck at doing stuff like that, but she asked me about the work, and then that kind of broke the ice, and me and Lena kind of sat and spoke to her for the rest of the lesson, and I made myself a new friend. So yeah, just ask them something about the work or compliment them, just anything, just a small little opener. And if they want to talk to you, you'll probably just kind of get into a natural conversation anyway. And if you're forcing it, they probably are not the kind of person you want to be friends with. Or maybe they just aren't in the mood to talk, who knows. But you know, you'll get the feeling if you know they want to talk. Amy asks, do you know what you want to do when you leave uni? I do not. I ideally would love to be still doing YouTube. At that point, I would love it if my channel would be able to support me enough to like earn myself a living and get some crazy opportunities and do some really fun things and the things I want to do. But if that isn't the case, I'm not really sure, and that really does scare me. YouTube is the only thing that I've ever found that I have stuck to for this long and that I have enjoyed for this long and that I genuinely have a passion for. So being able to do something that I class as a hobby, as my job, would be amazing. But otherwise, I think I'd do something in kind of like social media marketing or something along those lines. It kind of links back with YouTube anyway, but I literally have no idea. And at this point, I'm halfway through my degree, so that is kind of scary to me. But I'm sure I'll work it out. Everything always works out in the end. Hannah asks, did you do anything media related before you found the course at Lincoln Uni? By the way, I love you and your videos so much. Thank you so much, Hannah. And I actually was a photographer before I came to this uni, and I wasn't planning on coming to uni at all. Again, that's a totally different story that I can talk about if you want me to, but I was a photographer. I studied media in sixth form, and then after sixth form I was just so done with education. Sixth form for me was horrible. I went through bad relationship stuff and bad friendship stuff, and I was just done. I was like, no more education. And I'd had a photography job for about a year at that point, so when I left I took the opportunity to take it on more, and I ended up being the assistant manager of that photography company, and I had my own photography company, and it seemed to be going really well. But after a little while the challenge just kind of wasn't there. I got as high up in that company as I really could. That was going to be it. If I was going to take that on, that was going to be my life for the rest of time, or for however long I wanted it to be, and that's just not what I wanted to be doing. I wasn't truly happy. Yes, it was fun, and yes, it's not like a usual job, but it just wasn't for me. So I think I spent like a year and a half thinking I needed a change, and I just couldn't work out what, and then very last minute I decided university was the one. I happened to have a friend at Lincoln Uni, and he convinced me to come here, and we kind of visited the day after I decided and applied the day after that. It was a very quick decision. I don't regret it at all, and I couldn't be more grateful to that friend for giving me a kick up the butt to come here. Georgia asks, what would be your advice to anyone stuck in halls with bad flatmates? Well, if you've known me for a while, you know I was in this situation, and I'd say just stick to your guns. Like, don't let them walk all over you if that's what they're doing, and if you need to keep yourself to yourself, do that. Like, I used to wash my pots and pans in the shower in my room because we had en suites, because the sink was always full and the pots and pans were never clean when I wanted them. So I just took to keeping my stuff in my room and washing my pots and pans there, which is kind of sad. Like, that's really sad to think that I had to do that, but it meant that I had my own space and I knew that the stuff that I was using was clean. In terms of the people themselves, I just kind of kept out of their way. Like, those people were so different to me, and some of them were great, like some of them I got on with really well, others less. But I just say to just be yourself. Like, you can't force friendships if you don't want them to. If these people are people that you're not going to get along with, I don't think that's going to change. But being civil and kind of just going by it day to day and trying not to give them any reason to be any more horrible to you or with you or around you, then do that. That's what I did. I used to just kind of stay out of their way, kind of keep to myself, and, you know, just deal with it. And then when I met up with my friends, I used to just rant to them, and that helped a lot. Rachel asks, would you recommend a gap year or going straight to uni? Well, I kind of didn't traditionally have a gap year because I wasn't planning on going to uni at all, but I guess I technically had 2 years of a gap year, and my personal experience is I'd say yes, do it, because I don't think me at the age of 18 would be able to handle uni. Obviously everyone's different. Like, my boyfriend came to uni at the age of 18 and he's completely fine, but I feel like because I had those 2 years in life and being an adult and doing adult life things, I had time to kind of get over sixth form and have time being in the real world, and then I saw that it was definitely for me. And obviously university is not the only route you can take, so I think taking a year out if you're not completely sure is definitely the right thing to do. I know one thing I was scared of was being like one of the oldest ones in the group, but I'm not. There is a lot of people my age at uni and very few people at age 18, so don't worry about that part of it. But yeah, if you are thinking about it, I'd say go for it, and you can always pick it back up later on. Emma asks, do you get nervous when you have to go back to uni after being at home for a while? Christmas or summer holidays? I do, to a certain extent, because of the work and the change of living situations again. I'm a kind of comfort person, so I really enjoy being in one place. I don't mind change, but I like having my own comforts and not moving around too much. So every time I have to change situations and move backwards and forwards, it is kind of, I wouldn't say it's nerve-wracking, it's just kind of a new adventure again. I feel like every time I've come back to uni after a long period, something's always been different. And it's always just really strange to me. Like, the first time I moved to uni I was moving in a shared flat, the second time I had a studio flat, the third time I was in a house, and then this last time I was in a house again, but I had a boyfriend this time, so I had so many new things, and I feel like every time it's a different challenge. But it's a challenge that I'm enjoying, and although it is a little bit nerve-wracking, I always manage to adapt to that, so I think that's a good sign. Right guys, we had a little interlude because my camera went really foggy on the inside. I don't know why that happened. If you watched the vlog from yesterday, you'll see me talking about what happened, but anyway, we'll get back into the questions. Julian asks, does living with friends change your relationships with them at all? I'd say yes. I feel like you find out a lot more about that person than you knew before, and this always happens with relationships. They always say you don't know a person until you live with them, so yeah, that definitely happens without a doubt. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, like, you learn a lot of new stuff that you didn't really recognise before, but yeah, the relationship definitely changes. Sinead asks, would you rather stay at university forever or would you rather be at home forever? I would rather, I don't know. I'd rather be at uni forever, I think, but I would like to still visit home because I love my family too much. Family too much. But I like uni because it has so many different experiences and there's something new happening every day, and I think I'd just get bored at home, so I think I'd have to say uni as long as I could go visit home. Is that cheating? Probably. Laura asks, what's the worst part about university? The worst part is the essays, without a doubt. Like, the essays are just mind-numbing and the lectures sometimes are just so difficult to follow, but oh well, you gotta do it, and yeah, that is definitely the worst part. Millie asks, how did you find halls in the first year? And I did do a video about the truth about first year, and my experience wasn't the best. I mean, I didn't really get on with my flatmates and a lot of stuff happened, but after Christmas I moved out and got my own studio flat, so it worked out really well. So I'd say the experience in halls was good. I'm glad I did it, but I am even happier that I managed to get myself away from it because it wasn't the best one that I could have ever asked for, but it's kind of made me a stronger person in the end anyway, so I suppose you learn from it all. And the final question is from Jessica, and this is second year much harder than first? I'd say yes. I can't decide whether there's more work or whether there's just more pressure or a mixture of the two, but because of my anxiety thing last year, I'd say yes, second year is definitely harder. I think I'm ready to take on the challenge. I think this semester I'm going to handle it a lot better. I'm trying to start my uni work early. I've already started some of it, so I'm hoping that I get on the ball. I get on top of it all early, but yeah, I think I just didn't realise how much extra work I needed to put in this year, and obviously it definitely counts towards my degree now, so there's more pressure there, but I think it's kind of a mixture of the two. So that is it for my university Q&A. Thank you so much if you did send me a question. I'm really sorry if I didn't feature you in the Q&A. Some of the questions did overlap, so I can't include everyone, but make sure you're following me on Twitter in case I do another Q&A soon. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel and to my vlog channel to watch my daily vlogs, and I'll see you very, very soon with another video. Bye!